Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thinking Collaboratively, Chapter 3. It is Friday, January 29th at 7:30 in the evening. I'd like to thank you all for giving up a little bit of time on your Friday evening to join me. Real quick, I'd love to have your full attention for the next 15 minutes. I know that probably won't happen because the UPS man's going to ring the doorbell and your dogs are going to go crazy. But if you could just turn off your devices and put a do not disturb sign out and try to shush your animals, that would be great and we can get through this. All right. Okay, so we're going to do a quick quality check. If you can hear my voice and you can see the cute little puppy picture at the bottom of the screen, if you could raise your hand, the hand icon is there at the bottom of the screen in the middle on the far right there. And great, great. Thanks, everyone. If you could lower your hands, please. Click it again. Thank you. All right. And also, if you see that little record up there, if anybody doesn't see the red camera at the top left, let me know. I see it on mine, so I am good to go, I believe. Okay, just to remind you, we are covering Chapter 3 tonight, Technology and Thinking. So I hope you all read it and come prepared. Okay, so we're going to do a really quick icebreaker. And I want everyone to think, what do you think is the best technology that has been developed in your lifetime? So if everybody could take the microphone when I call on you and just tell me real quick what you think the best technology developed in your lifetime is. So let's start with Jeremy.
I would probably say the cell phone or the smartphone.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. It's crazy. You have a computer in your hand nowadays. What about you, Bobby?
I'm sorry, I didn't unmute myself. The iPhone. I love it. So I agree with Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm an iPhone junkie. I can't do an Android. I mess with my husband's and I can't do it. I'm an iPhone girl all the way. Brianna, what about you?
I would have to say virtual reality headsets.
You know what? I've never used one, but my husband loves his. He says it's the coolest thing. I've done like some virtual reality things that you like sit in, like some ride type things. And those alone are completely crazy. And I don't even have it on my face. And some of them make you dizzy. So that's great. I think it's so cool just how we're living in the generation of technology. And I just think it's so awesome. Okay, so here are our learning objectives tonight. We're going to examine how technology is both disruptive and constructively transformative. And we're going to discover how technology can support an environment for deeper learning by sustaining connections and creating opportunities for thinking and learning collaboratively. Okay, so when we look at technology innovations specific to learning, one of the first things that comes up, and it's a highly debated issue, is social media. I think, especially for those that work with kids, teens especially, social media is such a huge part of their lives. And it's kind of difficult for those that are truth-seeking and really want to gain a deeper level of learning and understanding on certain issues. It can be really difficult to weed through the craziness that's on social media. And we always tend to group ourselves with those who think like us. Some other tools that we have that are better for learning are going to be blogs, especially those specific to our career, and then some analytics that we can use to kind of assess learning. So I want to do a really quick poll. I'm going to set it up real quick here. And I just want you to tell me which of these statements you agree with in regards to education and technology. So I'm going to start the poll, and you could just click on the response that matches the letter. So A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and D is 4. Waiting for one more. Okay, it looks like most people think technology is mostly good for education, um, and if it's used in the right way. And in a way, I do think it is one of the best things that has ever happened to education. So I think I can definitely see where both of those are right. Okay, so some technology enhanced approaches that we're seeing in the classroom. One would be blended learning. That's a learning environment where we have both uh, some online instruction and in-class instruction, and almost all facets of learning anymore kind of involve both. We have strictly online learning, and then we have this phenomena called massive online open courses. Now, we remember back in the day, the only options were either in person or you could do the distance learning or the correspondence courses that they were called. And those were just basically mail in kind of, you get the book, you read it, you mail it back in. So MOOCs are like that. They're just these large, massive online open courses, and they're, today's new idea of distance learning. And they really lack interaction. The blended learning tends to have a lot more interaction. And then the online learning, depending on how it's set up, can have a lot or a little of interaction. So I want to get your feelings on interaction in the classroom. If you could go to your text chat there and go to the smiley face with the plus and tell me if you agree or disagree with the statement. I like small classes with lots of interaction. A smiley face if you agree, or a sad face if you disagree. I know for me, I really do like the small classes with lots of interaction, and I think you can really get those online. So yeah, I agree. I do like them. Okay, so we're going to have a little pop quiz. So the question is, MOOCs are just a new age version of a mail-in distance course. If someone could take the pencil, which is up at the top there, beside the finger pointer, and circle the answer to the question. Anyone, everyone? If someone, it is true. That's right. It is true. They are just the new age version of mail-in distance courses. Not a lot of interaction. I guess if you seek it out, you could probably find it, but not a lot of interaction. Okay, so if we look at how technology can enhance education, especially specific in our fields, um, the social media really isn't there. Um, there are some people that you can follow that may give you some links to good blogs and stuff. But if you really want to seek it out, some great blogs are ones like Lab Roots. Allentown has their own blog, and AAAS Science has a great blog, and they really write some very relevant issues. And a lot of times they are very specific to what is going on in our profession at that time. So when the onset of COVID hit and we had to have the massive decrease in research, and it definitely affected our profession, and we saw a lot of compassion fatigue and just complete burnout. There were some really great blogs discussing that. And then if we look at the analytics that we can use in our profession, definitely when we're working with the students and they're going through their training for the lab, we can look at how they're doing with the training. Are they waiting and doing it all the night before they come into the lab for their in-person training? Are they progressing through it nicely? Is everyone kind of gets hung up in the same area, and they're not understanding what's going on, and they're missing the same questions, and we see it over and over in the same area. So that may be part of the training that we need to look at redoing. So these are things that we can look at real time. We see that the students have done the training, they understand, and we see where there's areas that we definitely need improvement at. And then we can kind of piggyback off that with our in-person training and really see what each person needs and where the biggest need is by looking at the analytics. Okay, so I want everyone to tell me what are some ways that you can use these technologies that I just talked about, or some that you may think of in your daily life. So if you want to go up and select the T up there at the top and just type in a quick text about what you think in the white area there about a technology that you can use that you use daily. Is everybody's oh there we go. It like takes a while. Definitely social media, email. It is a good way to keep in contact with your peers. I know for us sometimes email just doesn't work, and we send back and forth messages on social media a lot. So really good. Thank you so much. Okay, so technology is definitely opening new doors. When we look at what it's doing for us, particular in the lab, um, online training and in-person training are what we do with our students to prepare them to work with us in the lab, to prepare them to work with the investigators. So that blended learning is something that we do every single day with our students. And I think it's really helped improve the way that we train our students. For us individually, we do online courses for a lot of our continuing education units. And a lot of those continuing education units come in the form of MOOCs. They're these large, huge, you know, kind of correspondence distance learning style courses from back in the day that we use. Also, when we use the ALAS Learning Library, that's another example of an MOOC that we use. And that is good and it is relevant to some of the things that we do. But, we really, really need to focus on getting some better interaction with others and really getting that deeper understanding of what we need to do and how we need to learn the new technologies, the new rules that are coming out in our profession, um, troubleshooting for different areas. And that is where smaller CEUs that are done in person, and then also district and area chapter professional organization. When we attend those, we really can get some really great interaction and a little bit deeper level of learning there. Okay, so technology has to be embraced. We can't deny it. In our profession, we have to love it. So it's really important that we know which technologies are going to work for us and which technologies are going to be best for teaching our students and ourselves for learning. Which ones can we utilize the best? So if somebody wants to take the pointer tool and point to one of the technologies that is not good for us to use in our profession, the pointer tool is a little finger with the pointer finger up, the hand with the pointer finger up. If somebody wants to take that and tell me which is not, yeah, Facebook, not a good one, not the best one. I agree. Some good ones that we can use are Microsoft Office Live. There is a Teams application, and then Google Docs, all that is good. So I want to thank you all for giving up your Friday night to spend time with me. And virtual listeners at home, thank you for joining me. All your answers to the polls, your answers to the questions that I ask, if you could put those in your class summary, I would appreciate that, and email it to me. If everyone is good to go, if you could type in the chat box, I am good, or hooray, or yay, Friday, whatever. If you have a question, let me know. You can always email me with that. Otherwise, thank you so much for spending your Friday with me, and everyone have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.